OG step on stage, nobody get miffed. You know everything blinding, fam, man never miss. Nah, Sking man, I jump into the marsh and the man don't stop. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. Sound of the anthem drop, our hands go. When I step foot in the room, it's boiling. Energy make the crowd jump up, recoiling. Everybody jump into the marsh and nobody gon' stop. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go up. Drop, our hands go. When the sound of the anthem drop, our hands go.
Hello and welcome to the very first Road to SimRacing Expo stream of 2022. The Road to SimRacing Expo officially starts tonight to show you what we've got in store. We have an exciting show planned for you tonight with the first few details for the ADAC SimRacing Expo 2022. Two exciting guests, but first let's talk about a few things that will change this year. Danny, what do we have?
Oh, we have a lot of in store here. Where should start, right? So actually, we changed the exhibition. So basically, the exhibition ground we changed. So we don't go to the Nürburgring anymore. We're going to Nuremberg. And why we're going to Nuremberg is a quite good question. I can tell you for sure, the ADC SimRacing Expo 2022 will be bigger than ever.
That's exactly right. We've been there last year for a teaser event, and let me tell you, the new location is absolutely amazing and pretty big. We've got an old esports hall, we've got an exhibition hall, and we've got a grand total of 15,000 square meters of exhibition space. So that's definitely something to look forward to.
Can I put a question here?
Of course.
Do we still have one exhibition hall? Or
no, we have two.
We have two.
Of course we do. Because we're going to get bigger and better this year. You definitely don't want to miss this one. We've also got a new partner that you might have heard about. Like I mentioned, we've been in Nuremberg last year. So some of you might have seen who it is. We're talking about Retro Classics Bavaria, of course.
Yeah, and we had the small teaser event in the COVID time where we all had to wear masks. And then we had the big one in Stuttgart, basically. And yeah, I think over this 4 days, there we had 80,000 participants, visitors. And
Around that, yeah.
not let alone, this number is crazy, but we had over the 4 days, 4,300 people driving at our sim racing rigs. And there were simulators at the race room booth where they can go head to head with me. Sadly, I didn't win, but
it was close, I heard.
it was close, yes. But I think enough of the talking. Let's see who the Retro Classics is.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Aktuelles Gebot hier, 31 Visiten.
So, very exciting stuff. I already can't wait to go. But to get more of an overview of what we've got planned and our exhibitors, you definitely should check out the ADAC SimRacing Expo website, simracingexpo.de, where you can find our exhibitors, like I mentioned, and a nice floor plan as well to kind of visualize what we are going to deal with there. The scale of the entire thing is going to be amazing.
So maybe we can take a look on our website, where you
Sure,
also find the latest news for the ADAC SimRacing Expo. And here, down here are the news. So we totally redesigned the webpage so it's more friendly for mobile. And yeah, maybe we can have a look about the exhibitors which already are secured for the expo this time around. And yeah, we have some big names there from the last year also, but some new ones where I'm very happy about, like ADAC Sim Sports, which I think made quite a good entry into sim racing with the new pedals and shoes and what will come next, probably. I think at the SimRacing Expo we will see that. Then we have our premium partners, Track Racer and Digital Motorsports, which are quite familiar. I don't need any words, I think, on them. And yeah, maybe we go then to the competitions, because we already kicked off some competitions, which the first one was the Community Trophy one, which we partnered with Race Room. So this time around, no GT3 cars.
No, we chose a completely different path. The community gets to vote out of 3 classes, really, for every round. So we have had DTM 1992 so far, and just yesterday night, Group C cars, which have been great racing and very entertaining as well.
Yeah, and then I think in 3 weeks, roughly 3 weeks, we will kick off the first big competition, the SimRacing GP Professional Trophy, where we have some amazing teams, like one of the best. I just named Veloce, Yazid, G2, Unicorns of Love, and I don't want to name all because we will announce them over the next few days. And the ADAC Digital GT500 will be also released soon. News what we'll do there, but that's for now. I think we have a good clip from our friends from Track Racer, so let's see what they have up their sleeves, and then we will see who's our first guest, right?
Yes, very exciting stuff as well. Again, can't wait to see what they have up their sleeves, as Danny said. You mentioned a redesigned website earlier. That's not the only thing we've redesigned, right?
Yeah, we teased you a little bit with Moritz at first, so we just put in now the official redesign from social media, graphics, and so on. So maybe we can go through some of these graphics. You already see this one. That's more open, more colorful, less dark design, which helps, even if you don't compete very well, to have a good, fun layout. We get some purple in there. Also, that's one for the announcement for the community trophy. Then we have the social media for Instagram stories. And the next one are the results, I guess. Yeah, and there's like, we want to have more involvement for the community. So basically this car is rendered, and we will change it out for the best teams also. So basically, when you win the competition, you also see your car on every social media outlet. So that's also quite nice. And that's one also for the stories, so we can tag you.
Yes, very clean, very modern look. I really like it a lot, and yeah, you're gonna see much more of this in the coming weeks and months leading up to the event. But now it is time to introduce our first guest. Danny has teased him before. Please welcome Moritz Löhner. So, Moritz, great that you joined us. Welcome.
Thanks that I can be here. Nice hosts.
That's always good to hear. Yeah, you've had quite the eventful last 2 years-ish. You've made the jump from sim racer to real racer, but do still compete in both disciplines. Very interesting, I think, to pick your brain a little bit tonight about both sides.
So do you want to introduce yourself a bit? Because when I start to introduce yourself, I'm always going to the competition side first. So Moritz, many people know you as the sim racer, but who's behind the sim racer actually?
Who's behind me? I guess a very competition-driven guy. Like I just love the competition itself. I just love to compare myself to other people in like terms of video games. It can even not sim racing games. It can be like Counter-Strike or whatever. I wanna be the best if I play it, and that's basically how my life is with every sports I did. Playing football, playing tennis, whatever. I always wanted to be the best, and yeah, and that's how basically my sim racing and real life racing goes as well. I wanna be the best, and that's what is driving me to compete up to top level, and I think that's who I am as a person, how I act, I think.
Before we dive into the racing side of things, were there any other sports or games or similar things that you really got into with that competition mindset earlier as a kid, maybe?
Not really. Like, I always started playing those racing games with Race 07, R Factor, and everything. Also at F1 games and Gran Turismo games. Like me and my brother always competed on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, in Forza on the Xbox, on Gran Turismo on the PlayStation. We always compete each other. Very early on, when we were like 5, 6, 7 years old or whatever. And as a kid, I always like, you see friends play like Call of Duty or whatever, but in our family we were never allowed to play those games because we were not old enough. Back then I never understood why. Now I can kind of understand it, and I think it was a good thing that I didn't play those games, because probably if I would have been able to play more Counter-Strike, more Call of Duty or whatever, I would have put more time into this instead of doing sim racing. And I think all the time I played sim racing back in the days, like I spend a lot of time there. It's benefiting me a lot right now, because I have the experience, like years of experience, starting with sim racing basically at the age of 7. And yeah, I think that benefits me right now, but I never really had another game that I picked up and wanted to be competitive at. It was always racing games. I played football, I said, but that was all like pretty much for fun all the time.
On which position do you play at football?
Defense.
Defense?
Left or right side, it didn't really matter.
Oh, really? I thought maybe you're going for goals.
Nah, I don't know. Like usually in racing you try to go for the goals, yeah. But in football I was also always the defensive guy. I don't know. But I can also defend very well on the racing track. So.
Oh yes, of course. I think we will see later more of that. And just a question, because I see you so often streaming. What is actually your daily work?
Yeah, my daily work is like I do graphics design, also management, because we have the Dürr esports team that I'm driving for, and I'm also managing that in the background. So I'm driver, but also manager for the team. And yeah, and my main work, or like one of my main work, is being a graphics designer in a 6 Group agency.
So basically, all your graphic design from your streams and so on is from yourself?
Self-made, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Maybe I need to hire you for my graphics also.
Maybe.
Yannick, I think we have something for him, because he also asks me every time when we see us, when the footage of some race will be released, and you know, the good things need to be stored on a hard drive and then taken out when we need it. And I think we can show the first clip of Moritz when we followed him around last year at your first DTM trophy.
I'm excited for that. I never saw the footage.
Yeah. So
some things just get better with age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can.
Yeah,
You have the honor.
let's take a look at the first clip we made at the Norris Ring then.
Hey, I'm Moritz Löhner, 22 years old. I'm currently driving a DTM trophy for FK Performance Motorsport. I guess I'm interested in racing in general since my dad introduced me to it. He was a big motorsports fan, or his dad actually was a big motorsports fan as well. He took me to the DTM at the Norris Ring, I think, when I was 5 years old, so quite early. And we also always had like a simulator at home with wheels and pedals. So always was kind of, the family just liked motorsports. We watched Formula 1 races, DTM races, everything. So as a kid, you just got into it.
Yeah, pretty cool story to hear. You kind of teasered it a little bit before the seed got planted early when it comes to racing and motorsports, and as an extension sim racing as well. Your dad apparently was a driving force behind that. How proud is he nowadays to see you race at the track he took you to as a kid?
First of all, very nice video. I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, we as a family, I would say, we don't really show a lot of emotions. I'm also a guy who doesn't really show that much emotions. So you never really get to kind of see the proudness of your dad. But whenever he is at the racetrack, he's fully there supporting me. Also, my mom and my brother is always there, my sister as well. And like basically my whole family is watching every relay race and also every sim race. So they're always there, always giving the support, which is huge. And it shows me that they're behind me and they care about me, which is nice. And yeah, of course, it started because of my dad. He was into motorsports, as I said, and also because of his dad. And yeah, that's how it started, and that's how the family is in this whole motorsports business with me. I would say.
Yeah, you mentioned those competitions you had with your brothers as a kid earlier on. I think it's safe to say you've finally won this one against them now, right?
Yeah. I always won this.
Okay.
I would say. Nah, it's like funny to see because back then we drove a lot against each other, and then he was more interested in like League of Legends or whatever, and he was actually really good there. He was playing for like amateur team and like regional leagues as well. So that was quite cool. So I was like on the racing side, he was on the League of Legends side, and always really good there. But he's coming back to racing actually. He got a sim rig, like a proper sim rig, last year, at the end of last year, which I also helped him build, which is quite nice. And yeah, now he just has to pick it up and get to my level, so we can make the fundal in the sim racing world.
Yeah, look out for the Löhner family team in a few years then,
Yeah.
or at least for a few streams. I would think that he'll join you there. You mentioned a few sims you played as a kid, like Race 07 or R Factor. Can you remember which one was your favorite back then?
Definitely Race 07. Like in my Steam library that has 1,000 hours of playtime, which I think back in the days was quite a lot because you weren't grinding as much because you were playing it for fun.
So yeah.
Now you have like 1,000 hours easily done with a few competitions because you have to grind so much, practice so much. But back in the days it was a lot, also with school. Like the parents didn't allow that much. But it was definitely Race 07 for me.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort to put into a single sim, of course. But in the end, you got to put a lot of effort into your real racing career as well. So you could say it prepared you for that a little bit, which is kind of fitting for our next clip because we sat down with you and your team boss to talk about a few things about the work with your team FK Performance. So why don't we take a look about the next clip from the Nürburgring then?
Hi, my name is Fabian. I'm from FK Performance. I'm 50% of FK Performance, so the other one is my colleague Martin. We start our relationship in Monza better than we hoped for before, and yeah, now we have the whole season together.
For me, it was also like a new experience to work with a big team together. In sim racing, you always have like your drivers and some like 1 or 2 managers, but that's about it. Here in real motorsports, you have your mechanics, engineers. Yeah, something new for me, but it was a lot of fun. The team was working great together. Everyone understands each other really good.
I think we are a family team, like a family, at the weekends together, and with the drivers, with the mechanics, with the engineer and all the other guys in the team. So we want the success, but we also want to have a good time together.
Not bad, not bad. I think not a few racers get these kind of humbling words from their team boss. As you said, you started off astonishing. I remember that I watched your first race in Monza. How did you manage all the emotion, being nervous? I mean, it was the first time in the real racing car. I knew you'd had a test before, but this was like, it's Monza where Formula 1 is driving and you're directly at the front.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I had my test before because I won a test from a different sim racing competition already, and then I drove a Porsche GT4, And I also had the test drive in DTM with the Mercedes AMG. And then going to Monza in like a BMW was still a different kind of experience because I never drove the car before. I was never on the track before, except in the sim, of course. So that was crazy, to say the least. I basically got the call like 3 days before Monza, like, hey, do you want to drive DTM Trophy in Monza for us? And I was like, yeah, I don't have any equipment, I don't have anything. So I just, I was at work there and was like to my boss, Toby, yeah, they want me in Monza on the weekend. Can I go? And he was, yeah, of course, go. So I ordered like helmet, racing suit, everything per like express delivery.
Yeah.
And it was like on point there. So I got to Monza with my brother actually. Very hot weather. Like I wasn't prepared. Like I'm doing fitness, but not to the level that I needed there really. So it was like 30, 33 degrees, quite hot in the car, like really hot. So it was not easy to drive, but it was so much fun. Like you do the track walk, you know the track is legendary. Formula 1 is driving there. Pretty much everything is driving there, and yeah, it was. But in the end, I was there to deliver for myself. Like I was there to have fun, of course, but I also wanted to show what I'm capable of. So I just sat in the car and like went out on track, and the first sessions were absolutely perfect. Like P2 in my first practice,
Yes,
P1 in my second practice, and from there on, like the paddock was like, wow, this guy is crazy. And like the other BMW teams wanted to have my telemetry data to see, hey, what is he even doing? Why is he so quick?
He brake tracked.
Yeah, exactly. Like are there some tricks? But no, it was mega.
Yeah, that's amazing. And also, like before you drove your first race, we had like the chance to check out 3 different brands of GT4 cars, which is, I think, even for a real racing driver, quite limited experience.
Yeah.
Well, but what is actually your dream? So basically, I think you're doing amazingly well in real racing, especially when you said you had just 3 days of preparing for Monza. So basically, I don't think you had much time to get into the sim and drive hours and hours because we were probably on the phone ordering equipment and get everything done to be there. But you're now here, DTM Trophy, second year. I think you also done great races before. The Nürburgring one was more or less, you were a ping pong ball, but what is Moritz Löhner thinking in his head? I want to succeed here and then the next step.
I mentioned before that my team boss was so humble, but that was last year. This year is obviously different because last year was my first year. So yeah, I had to find myself, how's it going, how's everything working, and it was like a year of let the guy do. If he does well, perfect. If he is not that good in a race, that's all right. He still has to learn. But this year, my second year in DTM Trophy, I have to deliver. So the tone is a little bit different, but still very, very family-like in the team. And that's also for myself. Like last year was pure fun for me. Like just enjoy it. You will probably not get the opportunity ever again. So just enjoy it. But this year is, even at Livestream, I came there and was like, I have to deliver. I have to win races now. I have to be the top man in the team. And this is very different. I came to the year and wanted to win. I wanted to be the DTM Trophy champion because you say I do well. For me, I see I'm not doing that well because I haven't won a single race so far. I had my podium in Imola, and have like 5 or whatever here and there, but that's not why I'm there. I want to win, and so I hope after the summer break it goes a little bit better with also the luck I have because getting crashed 2 times in good positions is not fun, I can tell you. Also not fun for the team because they have to repair the car and everything. But first of all, my goal is to do well in DTM Trophy, win races, maybe get up the ranks after the summer break. But ultimate goal would obviously be GT3 driver at one point. But never getting rid of sim racing. Like sim racing should always stay there, and I always want to do it because I wouldn't want to quit the one for the other. It's both equally fun for me.
Yeah, so we looked out now in the future, and we still have some clips left. And the next one, I think, is I think a really good presentation of how you felt before Nürburgring, which is actually a home race which not many people knew about, and I think we will check it out right now.
My way from sim racing to real racing was due to the DTM Esports Championship last year. It worked out really well. I won the championship in the DTM Esports series, and my prize was a test day with a Mercedes AMG GT4. And apparently I did good. The DTM liked it. I got a call with FK Performance. Hey Moritz, do you want to drive at Monza? And I was like, yeah, sure, of course I will do it. Sim racing taught me a lot in general. Probably the most important thing that I took from sim racing is your mental strength. Esports and sim racing teaches you so much about mental strength, to be focused all the way through, to cope with someone trying to attack you, and also like fighting for a championship in the very last race of the season when it really comes down to it, to deliver and win the championship. That is like huge pressure. Yeah, that's something you learn in sim racing, and it's something I was able to really make use of in the real world. My biggest dream in motorsports, or in real life motorsports, probably is winning a championship. A DTM trophy next year would be perfect. The ultimate goal would obviously be being in a GT3 grid like the DTM, and doing well there, or even winning championships there. It's still far away from now. For me in the past it was always like, if I wanted to do something and I wanted to be somewhere or achieve something, I eventually ended up there. If my younger self would know what I'm doing right now and where I am in my life right now, I think he would probably say, I knew it. I always said like, I will be there. Yeah, it worked out. I'm here racing in the DTM trophy now, which is a lot of fun. Doing real motorsports, which I dreamt of as a kid, watching it on the TV, being there as a spectator all the time. And yeah, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, well, as we saw you in action at your home track, it's got to be such a cool feeling to actually race there, right?
Yeah, I mean, the feeling at the Nürburgring is always special because of all the spectators. It's a special track, street circuit, and I know how it feels being a spectator in the grandstands, and like every cool maneuver, like every cool battle, there's like cheering going on for the driver who overtakes and everything, and you don't really have that on other racetracks, so that's very special. And now to be on the other side of the fence and driving, and you know if you do a nice like overtake, they will cheer for you on the grandstands. And yeah, especially the Nürburgring driving there, it's a feeling you can't really describe. It's something you can't really describe. It's crazy. Yeah.
Can you actually hear the fans cheering in the car sometimes?
No, unfortunately not. No.
Yeah, would have been cool, but can't have it all, I guess. You mentioned earlier sim racing is always going to be supposed to be a part of your career. Has working with a racing team and being out on track changed the way you approach sim racing? Maybe in the same way it helped you, approach the real racing.
Quite a lot actually. I think I got way more aggressive on the virtual world, which I think is. You will not be the most liked guy if you be like that, because usually in sim racing, if you drive against a real life driver, it's like, yeah, okay, they are so aggressive, they always push you out of the track and everything. And I kind of got myself into that now, because in real life, like you think it's all very expensive and you want to try to preserve the cars, don't damage them and whatever. But real life racing is tough. If you're on the outside, you get pushed off in the gravel. There's even contacts who say, hey, you're not getting past me. And this is also stuff that I had to learn first. And now I'm adapting to it myself. Like, I'm way more aggressive than I was in my first year. Giving bumps here, giving bumps there, and like, hey, I'm here. Yeah, you have to see me. I'm there and I want to overtake. And I noticed that I'm doing that kind of stuff in the virtual world now as well. Like, if someone is like next to me on the outside, but not really next to me, but still has some overlap, I'm pushing him off the track, because I know, like, from real life racing, this is my corner, I'm allowed to do it. If you do that in sim racing, you get bad messages and like people don't like it. And everyone thought in sim racing you drive really hard and incidents happen and whatever. But if you come to real life racing, it's a lot harder, the racing, and it's kind of a kindergarten sometimes how you have to drive in a virtual world, because after every small contact you instantly get a message, hey, what was that all about? And yeah, but nowadays I'm like,
Yeah, it seems like they
whatever.
have a glorified version of racing, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and people definitely like to complain. At least I hope it doesn't happen too often when you're on Twitch, for example, because from what I've seen and heard, you're quite an active streamer as well, right?
I do stream quite often when I have the opportunities to. Like the last few weeks, I'm traveling a lot, so I can't really stream that much. But every time I'm home and can do races on iRacing, Race Room or whatever, I'm trying to stream them. And it's a lot of fun. Like a lot of people are watching me, which I never really thought a lot of people would back in the days. But I have to like 300 viewers average now when I'm streaming, which is, I don't know, huge in the scene.
Definitely, yeah.
Usually it's like all fine, all fun, like the chat is always supportive and whatever, but if you crash another streamer, for example, or a driver who a lot of people know, like for example, I had a bash once with a Porsche Carrera Cup Germany driver, I think, and he came into my chat and some of his supporters came into my chat and were like, yeah, well, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, yeah, no, it was his mistake. And then even my chat attacked him, and it like sometimes it's a bit toxic, but usually it's quite a lot of fun, and you can sort out the toxic guys when you know they really mean bad harm, then you can ban them or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that's the gaming world for you then.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you mentioned a pretty healthy viewer average there. Has that actually increased ever since you started your real racing career?
It's hard to say, really. I think I really started streaming a lot when that was around. But I think definitely like a viewer boost, definitely because I drive in real life now. More people know me and more people probably knew me already, like, okay, he's doing sim racing. Oh, but now he's doing real life racing as well. Let's watch his stream. So definitely I think it got a bit of a boost because of real life racing. But most is really due to being active, streaming every day, or trying to stream as much as possible, and that's, I think, where the viewership comes from.
Okay, so for people that aren't actually following you yet on Twitch, do you want to drop your Twitch handle real quick?
It's my name, Moritz Löhner, but not with the O with 2 points, it's OE. So, like, UK people can write it on their keyboard. But yeah, it's basically my real name. I think you will also find it if you're a German and put it on with the 2 dots.
Okay.
That's how you can find me.
Or also on your social media handles, right?
Everywhere, yeah. You can find me everywhere under my real name, basically.
And so you stepped up also your game, right? Now you're not also streaming sim racing. I saw some track war clips on Twitch, which is, you know, you give away all the secrets when you do that.
I tried not to.
Okay.
No, but I really did. Like, I wanted to try and stream. I always see those streamers doing real life streaming, being in Korea and like the USA and whatever. I'm always watching those because it's nice. You get the feeling of you're there, you can explore the city and whatever. So I wanted to bring my viewers to the racetrack where they really want to see stuff like. And I did it at Nürburgring, did my track walk with the camera, holding it like this all the time. It was, I think I was live for like 1.5 hours, and like after a few minutes, like it was heavy. Like even though it was just a phone, like it was, I felt it in my arms. And then I also met up with Colin Karasani, like a DTM trophy driver. We walked around the paddock, had like a laugh, having fun, and I also showed him my car, and he was like in the car. Wait, do you still have the bigger power stick in your car, which gives you more power? You have to change that. So we had some fun, and it was quite good, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see that these kind of shenanigans between the drivers are like always in the paddock, and when we come to racing, it's racing, right?
Yeah.
And I think we have some clips of you race and win, or at least win for the viewers.
Yeah,
let's try to.
Great content.
We had a good look into that, and I think we will bring now your Twitch content closer to our viewers.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, rip.
What the fuck? What the hell? Just spawned right in front of me, man. Oh, they kill each other now. I take it. What the fuck? Oh, clean. No, 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 no. Oh, okay, there was a lot of luck. So yeah, I like to sniff ass. What? What just happened? Oh no, it was Josh. No way. No way. I didn't look at the fuel. I didn't look at the fuel. Go, 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 go! No!
So I think the short clip showed that your Twitch is actually one of the big fun factories to check out. And not to also to talk again about you, we have also introduced the second guest of this evening. I think he's quite familiar to you too.
Yes.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, nice
Thank you to have you here. And what do you think of this Twitch content from Moritz? Is it who he is, or?
Yeah, I like it a lot because, as Moritz described himself in the beginning of the show, he said he always want to win, and from my point of view, he's not that totally serious guy. He's really funny. You can have a lot of fun with him if you go out and have some party, and that's why I'm happy to see this, because I think this is more Moritz than what he said about himself.
Yeah, probably he sometimes forgets that the camera is on, and then it's like totally himself and driving. And then, oh, the people are here, okay. But Chris, we know us for quite a long time right now, and many people maybe know your face, but who are you actually?
Yeah, I'm Chris, and at the moment I'm the head of esports and new business at the SX Group. So I'm completely responsible for all the esports activities of the agency. I'm working now for 3 years.
Oh, that's quite a long time. And we know the SX Group quite good, but many people don't actually know who's the SX Group and what they are capable of, because I think you have some amazing and great projects, but you're not often seen very well. And so we crawl through your social media and find some clips, what you're actually doing, and I think we will take a look at the first one, and then your guys telling us what you're actually doing and how great are these projects. And
sure,
I think start with the first one. Not bad. We saw a lot. We saw Moritz car, we saw a race room, a big trailer, fun attack. You need to bring some light in this one.
So first of all, the SX agency is the leading agency for all esports activities of the DTM. So we were responsible for the organization and production of the esports championship over the winter. Yeah. And at the moment, for the real DTM season, we are responsible for the on-site activation of the esports topic in the paddock. So we organized this beautiful trailer, we organized the SimRigs, and now we are running that on every DTM race so that people can get in touch with esports, can meet Moritz and other drivers in the trailer, and can try it out simply. And maybe we bring the topic sim racing to new people, to young people. You saw a lot of kids there. So yeah, that's part of our job as an agency. So, and normally this is the DNA of the SX Group. We are as a marketing and event agency, and we started with esports 3 years ago. So this is basic work of SX combined with a new esports topic.
So basically, in your life, it's not getting boring. I imagine, as I'm also quite busy always and always traveling. Do you spend any time at the weekend at home, or?
Yeah, luckily we have guys like Moritz doing a lot of stuff at the weekend. I have 4 kids. I cannot go every weekend out and do sim racing or motorsport work. Yeah, but 10 to 17 weekends per year are usually in our job.
That's a lot. Yeah. So we saw Race Room, and as far as I know, you do also different activities with Race Room, or different series like the ADAC GT Masters and some others. I don't want to spoiler that. How did that got together, actually, Race Room and the SX Group?
Yeah, it started on a personal side because the ADAC asked me in 2019 to produce the first ADAC GT Masters Esports Championship. It was a smaller championship at the end of the year. Every race was on site, and there was an existing contract between Race Room and the ADAC. And so I did this championship, and we met each other again there on site. And after the 2019 test season, which was quite successful, it was getting bigger and bigger. And because there was an existing contract, the next level championships, 2020 and 2021, were on Race Room as well. So that's how it started.
Following year probably made it a lot tougher then, because in 2020 we obviously had the start of the pandemic, but you seemingly maintained that growth, as did sim racing as a whole. How was that time period for you?
I think for us as an agency, it was so weird because the season was planned on site. So the plan was to bring all the sim racers to the real racetrack and to do all the races on site during the ADAC races. And then we had to switch the complete plan. And it was weird because everybody was looking forward to meet each other on the racetrack. But on the other side, to bring everything online and to do everything online was much easier, and to organize, we were quite faster. And I think that we reached a lot more people doing everything online, and I think the whole sim racing scene, it was luck, because the people were sitting at home, nobody was allowed to go out, and then they started watching sim racing events and playing it a lot more. And I think even we were really sad not to be on site. It was not that bad in the end.
Is it in the plans to go back to the on-site format? Can you tell us anything about that, or is that top secret still?
This year it was planned, but the pandemic was going too long, so nobody knew in May or March or April what will come, and that's why the ADAC decided not to go on site. But the ADAC now has a trailer on every race, and so people can do sim racing in a smaller way. I don't know what's planned for 2023 because the concept is not ready yet, so I cannot say something about that, sorry.
Okay, yeah, we'll see about that then. But the trailer you mentioned, I'm sure I saw that one at Oschersleben in April. So that's always good to, go out and bring the whole topic to a bigger audience.
So I have another question, because it's quite interesting for me, and I not many people know about this, how much time actually went into these kind of organizations and putting up a race together, because now I'm working here and doing it myself for the ADAC SimRacing Expo. I got a huge respect for everybody, but how many people actually are working on your sim racing projects? We have one here, of course, on many sides of that, but how many people are actually working maybe on the ADAC GT Masters or DTM Esports?
At the moment, we have 8 people working full-time on the esports topic. To organize a championship like the DTM or the ADAC is tons of work. So it starts sometimes 4 months before, because you have to set up all the rules and regulations, you have to create all the assets, you have to prepare all the graphic stuff for the broadcasts, for the social media stuff, and of course to organize all the races together with Livestream and your partner like the ADAC. It costs a lot of time, and I told you before that a very funny part or sometimes serious part is to manage the expectations of this race series like the ADAC and what's possible on a platform like Livestream. And you know, the ADAC or the DTM, they always want to have that it looks like in real life, and then you have on the other side a platform like the Livestream, and of course a platform is always limited. And this balance and to manage these hopes and fears, this is really a part of our work that's really hard.
Yeah, I can actually say that you blow away my expectations with one of your projects. I think the MediaMarkt DTM Esports Bootcamp was amazing. I saw the clips, which we will show right now, and it was just amazing. You with Marcel Kiefer, I think one of the most, or you and Marcel, one of the most known sim racers in Germany. That's such a great project, and I think we take a look into it because it's one-off. So let's see.
Motorsport, das muss man einfach spüren. Es ist halt der Klang, es ist das Gefühl, wenn die Autos an dir vorbei zischen und einfach diese Spannung.
Man feiert das eine und das ist der Motorsport. Man mag schnelle Autos, man mag coole Autos, laute Autos.
Wir haben in den letzten 2 Monaten mit über 8000 Teilnehmern einen DTM SimRacer Cup organisiert. Und heute ist das große Finale. Die 10 besten Fahrer betteln sich heute darum, um ein Cockpit in der DTM Trophy.
Dass man in dem virtuellen Space quasi so die Möglichkeit hat, so ein bisschen wie die Profis vom echten Motorsport zu sein. Und das ist einfach das Geile.
Der Wettbewerb und die Competition, die ist halt einfach real. Und das ist genauso, steigert man sich dann da rein wie im echten Auto, sage ich mal.
Ich finde die ganze Competition, das Grundkonzept mega geil. Den Leuten halt wirklich möglich zu machen, vielleicht einen Rennsitz zu bekommen. Das ist enorm viel Geld. Die meisten können nicht mal davon träumen, weil es so absurd ist.
Wir haben ein Wochenende für die Teilnehmer, für die besten Teilnehmer organisiert, inklusive Übernachtung, Verpflegung, einen Abend mit Red Bull, mit Bar, mit Drinks. Ja, die Jungs sollen ein geiles Wochenende haben.
Also das ist einfach echt Wahnsinn. Das Hotel ist genial, der ganze Aufbau großartig. Allein dieses Wissen, ich bin hier dabei für so ein richtiges E-Sports-Event, genial.
Dann die E-Sports-Jungs, die uns mit Moritz und mit Marcel, die uns da ein bisschen mit an die Hand genommen haben, noch kleine Feinheiten uns gezeigt haben.
Ich kann jetzt aus Erfahrung sprechen, es kommt sehr nah ins echte Fahren ran. Ich bin in dieses echte Auto eingestiegen, bin aus der Box gefahren, die ersten paar Kurven, Bremsmanöver und so weiter, und ich habe mich gefühlt wie am Simulator.
Was ich richtig geil fand, war halt das Kartfahren mit den Leuten hier, weil einfach auch die Menschen hier sind einfach genial. Also man kann mit allen reden, man kann sich Tipps holen. Mit dieser Truppe Kartfahren war einfach herrlich.
Das ganze Programm war echt der Wahnsinn, was hier alles veranstaltet wurde. Das mitzuerleben ist mir schon echt viel wert. Und mir ging es eigentlich die ganze Zeit um die Übung. Ich war eigentlich nur für Lernen und so weiter hier, dass man was mitnehmen kann und dass ich jetzt hier sehen kann, das ist echt der Wahnsinn gerade.
Danke MediaMarkt und danke DTM für dieses absolut geile Event, das ihr organisiert habt.
Gerne wieder solche Events.
Vielen Dank nochmal an MediaMarkt und die DTM. Das war alles ein super geiles Event. Ist nicht selbstverständlich und ich bin da echt sehr dankbar für.
So this was a big one, right? I think that was not like 2 weeks before planning and then just go to the Nürburgring. Tell us a bit about how this even came together. Was it an online qualification? Did the people go to MediaMarkt and drove there, or how do you started that?
Yeah, it was a combination. The MediaMarkt was or is still the main partner of the DTM Esports Championship and all the activities. And MediaMarkt always said that they want to use this DTM Esports sponsorship to come closer to the target group, and that's why it was a combination. There was the interested guys had the chance to go into 10 different MediaMarkt stores, and there was a a sim rig inside, and you can go there for a hunt for the fastest times. And of course, there was an online possibility to do some trainings. And then over 8,000 people tried to qualify in the 10 MediaMarkt stores for this boot camp. And yeah, in the end, you saw the 10 fastest came to the Nürburgring, and then we found the winner and 3 guys who won the wildcard for the esports championship. So yeah, I don't know what you think, Moritz, but from my side, this is sim racing activation in a perfect way, because you have on-site, you have online, you're combining real racing with sim racing, and in the end, the guys in the DTM are fighting for a real cockpit, and that's, for me, it's the future of motorsport. I think that we will see a lot of more guys coming from the sim rig into the real motorsport. Not only Moritz, there will be new ones in the next years.
Yeah, Moritz, the main question, did somebody beat your lap time, or?
I think so, actually, yeah, because I went to the MediaMarkt as well and set a lap time. And I think I was 5th or whatever, so there were quite a few fast guys there. They were obviously at the boot camp then as well. So they had some potential, and it was the first event after the pandemic, or like still in the pandemic, that was like a LAN event. And it was just so much fun to be there again. Like, I wasn't their competitor, but see your competitors there, that you're sitting right next to each other. You feel the pressure of like, yeah, I'm fighting against him and he's sitting right next to me. It's like a lot of fun. And me and Marcel were there to coach the guys, like give a few tips, how to approach the corners and whatever. It was a lot of fun. Like, this is how events should be. Like, you should all be there, because it's a different emotion if you win something like that, if you compete something like in a competition like that. If you are there, I mean, at home is all nice and fun, like you're in the comfort of your own sim rig and whatever, but really being at the event, seeing what's going down, like seeing how everything is set up actually, because you can't hide how much work it is. You will see what's going on there. It's good. It's a lot of fun.
What did the competitor in you have to say about only coming 5th on that leaderboard? I'm pretty sure he didn't like that very much, did he?
No, but my excuse is I didn't want to be on top to give the others a chance.
To be a good host of sorts, if you will.
So, but are you actually quite proud? Because I think that's now the 2nd generation, if you can say so, and you're like the first one which kicked off everything and opens the door. And also, to be honest, it's some big thing, because when you would not excel and wouldn't be as good as you are, you would be maybe the example that sim racers can't drive in the reality. And so basically everything what you're doing great is like giving out the message that sim racers are capable of doing these kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't the first one who did it. There were people before me, like Tim Heinemann, James Baldwin, who won like sim racing competitions, got into real racing. And also for me, it wasn't like you win the competition and you get into real racing. I still had to work myself to actually drive the real car. But now the winner, really like the win of the DTM Esports was to get a cockpit, like 100%. And I was still fighting for that this year, but Kevin Siggy won, which I'm really happy about it, because the guy
tried a lot, right?
Yeah, the guy put a lot of effort into it, and I'm really, really excited to what he will do next year in the DTM trophy. But it's obviously nice. Like for me, I think it was important for the whole scene that I was doing well, because if you can imagine, like I'm in the first time in a real car and I would crash it all the time or be dead last all the time, then that would be probably a bad spotlight on a sim racer going to a real car. So, but I think we'll see it a lot more in the next few years, months or whatever, that more sim racers get the opportunity, because if I talk to teams, they all say, yeah, we would get a sim racer, but the problem is the financial support behind it, because obviously the teams, they also have to make their money. And even though they would like to have a sim racer, usually sim racers don't have the money to do real racing. That's why they are sim racers. So it's still difficult to get them into a cockpit actually. But nowadays it's easily possible, like not easily, but more possible due to sponsors, because they see the potential and they see everything how it's going down. So I think we'll see it a lot more in the future.
So now I have a kind of a very tricky question because I like the question really much. So don't you think that sim racers actually, when they win their seat in these kind of competitions, deserved it a bit more than people that just sponsoring it because they have money? Because, you know, the competition in real life is a bunch of hundreds of people driving, and in sim racing you have thousands of people competing for one lap in a hot lap competition. They can train as long as they like to.
I wouldn't necessarily say someone deserved it more than the other, because even though there are some people who have the money, they still have, like some still have to work a lot to get that money and do real life racing. But obviously a sim racer has to go through a lot to get this opportunity, because you have to be the best of thousands of drivers. It's not like you do sim racing and you win it. You have to be the best driver, and that takes a lot of effort, a lot of like doing that every day, spending your whole time with it. Maybe no friends, no partying on the weekends, like just dedicating your whole life to it. That's what Kevin does, for example. He dedicated everything he had to win the championship, and that's where I say he 100% deserved it. And I wasn't unhappy that I didn't win. I was just happy for him that he won it. But yeah, you can't really say only sim racers deserve it, because there are some non-sim racers who come into real life racing because of a lot of effort as well. But obviously there are some who just take mommy's money and get into real life racing. I don't know. But yeah.
So you learned a lot in the media training answering correctly on my question. Chris, so media is a big part of sim racing, right? It's basically one of the big assets because you can stream everything. You have much more interaction between drivers and the commentators and everything. We can watch directly in the cockpit of the sim racers. How does it feel for you? What are sponsors, partners are like actually looking for when you're doing a series?
In general, the sponsors are always interested in the young target group the esports or sim racing streams already have, for sure. And then, of course, you the possibilities to integrate the sponsors into a live stream or into a game, or it's much more easy than in real life, and it's really cheap. So that's from my side of that the sponsors, yeah, they know exactly what they get, and for us as an agency, it's much more easier to bring them into all these topics than you can do it on the real track.
How good was it for you to see Moritz make that transition? You've known him before, right? So as an external onlooker who actually knew him, so to speak, how cool was it to see him make his debut?
So first of all, from my personal view, we are friends, and that's why I was really happy for him, because I know him for 5 years now, and I know that this was his dream, and seeing this dream comes true was really great. And on the other hand, I'm always happy if sim racers prove that they really have good skills in racing, and they can show what they can in a real car as well. So I think for the people outside, you know, there are still many people laughing about sim races, and they tell all the others, so well, it doesn't hurt, and yeah, you know, a crash, so there is no money involved, and they cannot race, and it's motorsport for kids, and all these stupid things. And then there are guys like Moritz or Mark Gassner did it years before, or Tim Heinemann, and I think Kevin Siege will be successful as well. And they proved that no, they have so much experience in racing, and they can transfer it on the real track, and that's really good for the whole scene.
Yeah, absolutely agree on that front. And anyone who's talking about, you know, sim racers not having team spirit like the real motorsport teams do, I'm not sure they know what's going on. We've got a small clip prepared to show you what actually happens behind the scenes at Durham Esports.
Hi, ich bin Moritz Löhner, Simracer für das Durham Esports Team. Ja, meine Geschichte in Simracing geht viele Jahre zurück. Mein Vater war schon immer Motorsport begeistert, hat mich immer zu DTM an Nordesring mitgenommen, das war so unsere Hausstrecke.
Hi, ich bin Nico Nönninghoff, SimRacing-Fahrer für Dörr Esports. Ich bin seit 12 Jahren circa im SimRacing aktiv.
Hey, ich bin Ben Dörr und ich bin Fahrer im Dörr Esports Team. Ich bin eigentlich zum Motorsport gekommen, da mein Vater schon, seitdem er klein ist, Motocross gefahren ist, dann die Firma von meinem Opa übernommen hat und so hat auch das ganze Rennfahren angefangen. Ich fahre jetzt schon viele Jahre Kart, die letzten 3 Jahre auch sehr erfolgreich.
Hi, ich bin Florian Hasse, Simracer im Dörr Esports Team. Ich bin jetzt nicht wie die anderen Jungs vielleicht regelmäßig Kart gefahren, aber ich war schon in den Kartcentern in der Umgebung und ich hatte halt einfach immer Bock am Motorsport. Als ich dann irgendwann mit der Schule fertig war, habe ich dann richtig angefangen, auch zu Hause mit einem eigenen Lenkrad, eigenen Pedalen dann wirklich richtig zu Hause Simracing zu betreiben.
Hey, ich bin Michael Reche, SimRacer im Dörr Esports Team. 2011 war es, glaube genau zu Weihnachten, hat mein Vater mir und meinem Bruder F1 2011 geschenkt und dann ging eigentlich dieser ganze Traum los.
Dann sind wir hier angekommen, ein schnelles Hallo, Fotoshoots gemacht.
Und waren auch drüben bei Lamborghini Frankfurt und hatten die Möglichkeit, uns mal in einen Lamborghini Huracan zu setzen, was für mich bis jetzt das Highlight war.
Und ich glaube, die größte Unterstützung kommt tatsächlich von den Teamkollegen, Tipps, wo man selber vielleicht schneller ist oder langsamer, dann vielleicht mal nach.
Ja, das Team wurde natürlich jetzt neu gegründet. Ich kenne sie natürlich alle. Ich weiß, wie sie ticken ungefähr. Und ich hoffe, dass wir uns gegenseitig dann einfach wirklich anspornen können, dass wir gute Leistungen zeigen, dass wir gute Rennen haben. Aber dass wir natürlich auch Spaß als Team haben.
Vom Simracing hoffe ich mir auf jeden Fall erstmal viel zu üben, da man vielleicht neue Strecken kennenlernen kann, ein paar Bremspunkte herausfinden kann.
Um ehrlich zu sein, hätte ich, als ich mit Simracing angefangen habe, nicht gedacht, dass ich jetzt hier heute bei Dörr Motorsport stehe.
Wir harmonieren gut zueinander, kennen uns schon jahrelang und ich glaube, das wird einen ziemlichen Boost geben, auch nochmal für die Performance.
How does it feel to look back at this clip?
Interesting, because it was the first time we actually met as a team. Back then we always met as competitors, like being in different teams. And this was also like a thing, we got together as like a group of people who already knew each other from the whole scene, like years. And now we are a team, and that was really nice to meet there at Dörr, like do the photo shoot and everything. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's already 1.5 years ago now.
Yeah, it's quite long, right, Chris?
Yeah, long.
You're
long
the
journey.
father of this team, of the drivers. How is it to manage a sim racing team?
Interesting. It was a new task for me. I never did it before. Of course, I was a motorsport manager at Red Bull, and I had to manage some athletes, but no esports or sim racing athletes. So it was a new task. But yeah, we know each other for years, and so. As Dörr talked to us about what we think about creating or setting up an esports team for Dörr, my first contact to talk with was Moritz. I asked him what he thinks about it, and maybe he want to join us and help me to set up the whole team. And when Moritz said yes, I'm open for that, yeah, then it was running, because with his yes, the other guys said yes, and then it was an easy way, because Moritz knows everybody and he supported us very well. And today we have 13 pros and 5 juniors, so we are really a big team, and this only in 1.5 years. It's a cool journey.
How close has that team gotten ever since that first meeting at the factory or at the workshop you mentioned?
Pretty close, actually. Like back then we were 5 drivers, pretty much all competing in the GT Masters and everything. But you already kind of had a feeling of like we were 5 drivers, but then like one guy was like still at work, and like, you know, and then sometimes we only were 2 in the Discord, like talking, driving together. And a few months later we got a new one, like Leonard Kribner. And like actually, like this one guy, I don't know if it's because of him or just because it's one more person, but like got the team so much together, because now we were like a group of people in the Discord having like chats every evening, and that was like a big boost for the team, and like actually really good. And that's what got us really close together. Like I said before, as Chris mentioned, he talked to me like, hey, how is it, do you want to join the team? Do you want to build up the team with me? And I was like, sitting at my apprenticeship back then. Yeah, sounds good. So I got to choose my teammates, and those were my teammates that I chose because I knew them from the past competitions and everything. Yeah, now we are a pretty big team. Back then with 5 drivers, now we're like 20 pros and like 6 junior drivers, and we're like every evening we're in a Discord. Either we're driving and having fun, or we're just
talking,
chit-chatting and having fun. It's nice. It's like exactly what I wanted to have from a team, not just driving and then it's gone. Being there every evening, maybe playing a different game as well, and just having fun together. That's like more important than probably the on-track performance, because then you really work together as a team perfectly if you understand each other, if you have fun outside of the racing track. That's like when a team really works well together.
Chris, how good is it to see this kind of growth in the team in such a short time, really? I mean, it's got to feel great as a team manager to see that decision, that initial decision you made with Moritz paid off in the end.
Yeah, sure. So we were quite successful from the beginning, and then it's not so hard to find new drivers, because if you are successful, and the brand Der, from my side, is a cool brand because a real motorsport team, and they are offering a lot of possibilities for the drivers, as you could see in the video, and to see the team growing and to stay successful. But on the other hand, all the guys are still nice. There is no, there is no high nose or something like that. And I really like it. And one of my drivers wrote me to my birthday that I have 4 kids, and now I have 24 kids, because these 20 guys to manage is sometimes really hard work, like with my kids. You have to take care about are they doing well? Do they have problems at school? All these things you have to be aware of if you are the manager of the team, and you have to talk to them. But I like it very much, and they pay back with success, and especially with team spirit. And that's why it's one of the best parts of my job at the moment.
How often do you get everyone together each year? Is that even a possibility anymore with everyone that's involved now?
Sure. So of course we have these weekly or bi-weekly calls. So this is quite funny sometimes. And we, the SX group, we have a lounge at the Nürburgring, and that's why we try to invite the guys at least 2 times per year, that we meet at the Nürburgring. And of course, if the LAN events will take place again, like the SimRacing Expo, we will be part, and then I think we will be there as well. So, 3 to 4 times we see each other personally.
Yeah, so basically you started out in race room, right? And I think with 20 drivers you can already fill up the whole grid. That would be good for you, boring for the viewers maybe. So how is Der esports expanding?
Yeah, like as you mentioned, we had even 5 drivers. People who are like, well, there are too many Der drivers in the grid. Now we would be like 12 in the GT Masters, which is like half of the grid, which would actually be really funny. But yeah, it's like now we are also looking into different games. We pretty much mastered race room, I would say. We won the GT Masters 2 times, drivers and team championship. We won DTM. Or like we were close to winning DTM, but also won Cupra and everything. So now we're looking also into getting into iRacing. Like that's why I'm streaming a lot of iRacing right now, to get into the Porsche World Championship with a few of other teammates. But we're also expanding into Assetto Corsa, ADAC SimRacing Expo trophy. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because we don't have that much experience in other games. Like some other drivers don't have any experience at all. So it's interesting to get into it, and it's interesting to see the guys prepare for a different sim they have never touched before. And obviously, the goal is to win in the end always. The guys want to win. We would like to see them win. So yeah, it's a new chapter for us. Also with the big of a team we are right now, it made it not easier. It's actually a lot harder to manage everyone.
Of course,
but I think it's working out. Even the new guys who are in the team right now, we knew each other for years as well from the competition, and I think it's working out really well.
So basically, if you hire drivers, more mouth-to-mouth propaganda, right? So you know each other, and then you're just waiting for the perfect point to say, maybe you want to be Der one.
Yeah,
Or
it's like it was usually it's like just a quick message. Like, for example, Leonard, I was asking him, you don't have a team anymore in in your race room handle. Would you be interested? Then you get into a small talk, and it's like, yeah, working out.
It's interesting how that works sometimes. You tend to think about pro esports and everything as, you know, this real big thing, probably with contract negotiations sometimes even. But I think it's a refreshing thing to hear that it's on the friendly side as well in some cases.
Yeah,
Very cool.
and I can say that we never tried to cut off a driver from another team. So if the driver was available, then we react. But we never asked directly if somebody has an existing contract or something. What I want to say is that that we take care of that the new driver really has a personal fit to the team. We would not hire a great guy when we know it will not work with the others. So, and that's Moritz taking care of that a lot. And I think that's really important because the team spirit is only there if everybody is working together. If you have 2, 3, or 4 guys in a team who are splitting up, you have no team anymore. That's why Moritz is taking care of a lot of this, and I can rely on him.
Yeah, that's cool that you mentioned that because I think really like synergy between the drivers and also between the management back and forth is one of the key cornerstones for having success in a sim racing team. Because when you take a look at the professional teams, which are, I would say, a step up to us, like Apex, Redline, or cowana, there's no driver leaving for years, and that's like this small group, or in terms of some teams, a bigger group that's really like sticking together and fighting through every highs and lows. That's, I think, one key ingredient, and I think that you're doing very well with that when you have like getting 5 drivers together, forming, I think, more or less the soul of DER and getting new people in, and they're fitted like perfectly, right?
Yeah, I can only say yes. That's the way we want to do it. We will see. I can't say what will be in 1 or 2 or 3 years, but as long as DER is our strong partner, and as long as the guys are successful and we can do this job, we will go exactly that way. And for 1.5 years, we don't fired 1 driver, so we are all together, and I hope it will stay that way.
Yeah, also sounds like Moritz may be your co-manager at this point. He's taken over the managerial side of things, something you could imagine for the future too?
Yeah, it's always like something I liked. I was always like a guy that liked organizing things, whether it be like organizing the festivals for my friends that we go on. But now it's like organizing and managing a team. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, but also good amount of work as well. Like I'm managing most of the driver stuff, like championships, which driver and what is the problem of the driver, and like Chris is managing like the bigger things like sponsorships and like overall communication with like DER and everything. So that's where we like split up and try to see who excels at his position and can manage the parts in a team better, and that's how we split up in the management basically.
So, as we are quite close together with Fürth and Munich, I think we should start like something like fight of the esport teams and go-karting maybe in the next few months. That would be great to see. Of course, we need to limit your team because you're quite more people. But is it something that you maybe look out for? Because I think sim racing in general is social media-wise quite not boring, but you don't have these kind of nagging and try to get more storyline behind it. Do you search for something like that?
I think it kicked off like in the last year, I think a little bit more, like the having fun on social media, and like also a few more drivers like picked up social media themselves. That's also a point that I can't really understand. Like, okay, maybe I like social media, I like to be out there, I like to post, but as like a person in like sim racing, you have to do it. Like the cowana drivers, Redline drivers, Apex drivers, a lot of them do social media just on the side and like very briefly. But as a driver like that, you're one of the biggest drivers out there. You should do social media a lot because that is probably more than 50% worth of you as a driver. Like on one side, you're like a driver. Yeah, you have to be fast, but you have to do your social media right. And that's something that sim racing doesn't really have right now. I think back a few months ago with Nils Naujoks, we had like a few Twitter bashes and everything. Yeah. I think that really helps to keep the scene or like keep it alive, put it somewhere up there, because you're just having fun on social media, but that also brings up the engagement, because Nils is like on the Assetto Corsa side, I'm on the race room side, and so we bring those two communities together and like see, okay, they two are bashing against each other, which is quite fun, but also nice to see, because they don't have that much to do with themselves on the track, because they drive different sims and everything.
You know, he said some kind of words with bashing and having fun with each other. Do you have something in your mind right now?
Yeah, I think we've got something right up that alley. I think we've talked enough for now. I think it's time for some action now. And for that, we've got a little challenge prepared for the two of you. We do have to switch studios for that though, so we'll just head on over and be right back.
Yeah, welcome back now in our arena. You might say, what? They changed scenes, now they have an arena? Yeah, we have an arena. Yannick, what we are doing here?
Well, we have a nice little sim racing battle station set up, which we're going to show you real quick in a bit. Our challenge to Chris and Moritz is WRC 10, but not in a sim rig as you might expect. Instead, they have to make do with a controller, so that should be a lot of fun to see who prevails on a stage in Germany.
So then let's get closer to the battle stations. So for you guys, I see you're already in position, you want to race, but keep calm, okay? So we have a best of 3. I think I don't need to... any question what best of 3 is? Okay, good. So, guys, it's clear we need to show who's the best one in a game where they're not too familiar with. Even we know some backstories that Chris and Moritz met actually at the WRC esport venue, but it's now a bit later. We have maybe some rain, I don't know what I set up there, and yeah, they go head to head in the best of 3 format at the ADAC Rally Germany. So we also found ADAC race there, and it has a beautiful name. What was it, Yannick?
It's called Panzerplatte. So how much more German than that does it get?
Can't be more German, I think.
There we go.
So you're not driving with a sim rig today. We want to show that sim racing is also capable of delivering great racing and show without a sim rig, because not everybody has a sim rig at home. The controllers are often more fitting. And do you have any questions?
No, not really.
So you know when
can you let it rain on his side, and I can drive in a bit dry?
I can disconnect his controller.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
But you also can include like whether you're winning or not into the next round of talking because of his working contract and so on.
Yeah, sure. Maybe. You know what to do.
So then I think we can start. You need to press the X for being ready.
Just to ready up, and then...
Oh, the X. Right?
Yeah.
I think you gotta back out.
Ready, and
ready.
Chris?
No. Always ready.
You just need to figure out. You need to press A for the car,
and
now the X.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All good, all good. I know
there we go.
You just
And then?
And now we're starting.
And just one tip. False start is enabled. So press throttle and brake.
Be aware of the countdown. B is also the handbrake, so that might come in handy for the start.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Note the German co-driver as well.
So they're starting and they're really close to each other and they see each other in the Ghost one.
As we have a car in the hay bale already.
Moritz already tried to hit some barriers, but he keeps it cool right now, and Chris is still making time up. That is really good. I think 2 or 3 seconds are now close between each other.
Where do you have to go? Left.
Hey, you need to go left hand side, mate. You know you have on the
rally is difficult.
On the top side you have some waypoint explanation.
How do I change the camera? I want to be in the cockpit.
First of all, you're doing donuts for the
spectators.
for the visitors, which are raising the Portuguese flag for you, and you can switch the cockpit views and external views with the white button.
This one?
No, white, the yellow one.
Ah, right. No?
I guess no, you can't. Then I think it's up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's up and down.
Hell
and with these kind of more interactions between us, Chris also closed the gap. But Moritz, I see you're quite familiar with that, and even are you bored that you changed just the perspective while you're driving, or
I don't know. You tell me.
So the first round seems to be not close, but Chris needs maybe just
relatively tough on the spectators as well, as we just broke through a barrier there. Also, hay bales are a bit of a...
Yeah, the hay bales are really tough. I had some experience with them.
It's actually interesting. I haven't played WRC in a while, but it drives. I think with a steering wheel it can drive quite well.
Yeah, I think also. But I wanted to give you the pain to try to recover the gamepad, because I had some trouble with that. So. But this one I think will be an easy win. Do you have something to say to your fans while you're entering the final stages of this short rally?
I don't know. Thank every supporter of mine. Always a good show. Like, see all those people at the grandstands here. Nice fans.
I gotta say though, Chris has the cooler Gymkhana moves though. You're pulling off 180s, 360s at all times.
Dude, I'm sweating. See this?
Yeah, I see you're sweating. That's like really sweat log, right? Chris is still concentrated. I think he will get the last bits in to optimize this next one.
Practicing.
Yeah, basically the recon stage, if you will.
No, it was close.
So it's 2:23. That's not too slow for the first round. Let's see what you can do. Just press the A one.
What time did you do?
Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it, otherwise I get still disappointed that I always get beaten. No, I think it was 2:01.
Alright.
A again?
So you can
we just ready up
take
once
the
again
same
with
car
X.
again.
And then we'll be right back at Panzerplatte.
Okay.
Maybe a perspective for
in the
future.
rain this time.
Oh,
great. Driving rally cars?
I would love to try driving rally. I think that's crazy. Like going that fast through trees and everything. Wow.
Who would you have as your co-driver then?
No, of course not.
That's a combo I'd like to see.
Oh.
I cheated
the system. I cheated the system.
Yeah, you cheated.
There isn't any rain. Interesting.
That's also something. You always have to find gray zones in the rulebook.
Yeah, this wasn't a gray zone. That was just gently going too early. But as you mentioned, seeing the fans again, how would it be to race on the Expo? You had the experience before in 2018.
Like driving at the Expo is always the most fun you can have, because you have the spectators there, you have like the competitors there, and like I got second 2 times, but it felt like a win, because like you just have so much fun competing there, like having all the spectators there, and it's just a lot of fun, and winning or like doing well at the stage where you're not at home alone in your room is such a nice feeling.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so awkward when you go through the start-finish line and you're
raising
your hands.
You're raising your hands for for the people
For
there,
yourself.
and not in your room. And then maybe your roommate hears yourself screaming, "Yes, I won the race!" And it's like, what is he doing?
Oh, you're not living alone. So basically, somebody else needs to work out with your screaming when you're winning.
I can tell you, if you want to live alone in Munich, you need a lot of money.
Yeah, so you need to be more successful in real life racing, right?
Probably more in sim racing.
Yeah. Do you have something like an over you already earned in terms of money?
Esportsearnings.com. There should be something.
Yeah, I think
it's like 40 grand or whatever.
Oh, I think there you are actually up in the top 5 from sim racing perspective.
A lot of the iRacing guys earn a lot already for Porsche Super Cup and everything.
Ah, so that's why you mentioned you want to go to the Porsche Super Cup.
Exactly.
To recover these earnings which you lost to other sims.
Yeah, to be able to live alone in Munich.
And shout as much as you want during streams.
Exactly. Yeah, I can shout more. It's more content.
Somehow Chris is still pretty calm despite
because I have to concentrate that much and I can't control the car at all.
Yeah, it's tough on a controller.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
true.
When's the last time you played a racing game on a controller?
I don't know, 10 years ago?
Oh boy.
My car looks like my driving, Moritz.
Chris, but you can learn from 20 drivers the best excuses if you maybe not do well. So
yeah, it's always, the BOP was really bad.
It was a controller.
And the controller didn't work. And
I don't think though it was a controller. I tested both sides.
No, I'm quite sure that
remember our
was
talk
wrong.
this afternoon? We were talking about BOP and everything, maybe, in a World Rally Championship game. So
yeah, I think
there
that was really, I had the wrong car.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Sure.
I am totally sure that's the same one. So maybe we also do this one not only for the show, to show someone's the winner and somebody is the loser. We will have these times also at the ADAC SimRacing Expo. So basically everyone who's coming here to our studio and will have a chat with us will drive at the WRC ADAC Rally at the Panzerplatte, and then we will see who is the best guest actually. So Moritz.
I think I have to set a faster time now.
No.
Or I have to set a faster time at the ADAC Expo.
No, there we will.
But all the other guests now have the chance to do some training at home, and he didn't have a chance.
Yeah, but maybe I throw him some rain.
Okay, true.
Also
maybe.
mud.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe we'll use some vintage cars
for
as
the
well.
Or a WRC2 car.
Or 3 maybe even.
Or they just push it.
Yeah, I mean, we can run the track as well if we want to, but that's not exactly sim racing, I guess.
So, Chris, one sentence to your second coming. I think still on the podium. That's good for sure.
Yeah. No, it was really a close fight, so I'm happy that it was that close, and I let him win because
Yeah, of course.
he's the team
He
captain.
was so frightened that he tried to jumpstart.
Yes.
So
Yeah. I should be disqualified, so Chris won.
Yeah. Maybe we should. Yeah, we can give it to the stewards after the race, and we wait 2 weeks.
Do that.
I mean, maybe you should actually think about that co-pilot job for Moritz if he wants to have a go at this.
Yeah.
If you trust him
I
enough
think
for that.
I would be a better co-pilot than a driver. I'm honest.
So you're my co-driver in rally.
Yes.
Nice.
So,
all right then.
We need to talk to Toyota, maybe.
maybe
get
Hyundai,
this one
but
going.
Well, yeah. Anyway. Let's see then what the next guests have on offer in WRC. For now, let's head back over to the studio with a message from Digital Motorsports in the meantime.
This is driving. This is the next generation of motorsport, and I'm over the moon because that's been my dream, my passion for all my life is to create a world motorsport event that's open and accessible and diverse globally to everybody. Boom, mic drop.
We really want to take digital to the next level. The motorsports industry has embraced it. I mean, it's the times now. It's unprecedented timing, and we're just excited for the future.
So, yeah, that's the show.
So, a titanic battle to conclude our first stream, really. Yeah, like you said, we're going to see a lot more of that until the expo in December. Guys, with the new location, the new look, and everything, what are you looking forward to at the expo this year?
I guess. Expo, as I said before, is like the sim racing event in the end. Everyone all over the world like comes together in one place, and that's perfect. Like the guys from the US, the guys from the UK, like everyone is coming together in one place, and that's in the end it's always a lot of fun. Like there's also competition, but there's also drinking competition, maybe.
Oh, we have a big party coming up for the community on Saturday. So
that sounds good. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to be at the expo. This time also in like almost my hometown, but very close to it. So that's obviously very nice to be in the city. Yeah, just to meet everybody again will be good.
Chris, how about you?
Yeah, even I'm a big fan of the Nürburgring. I think it's a good decision to go into a big city because especially the young people, it's really hard to get to the Nürburgring. And I think to have the SimRacing Expo in a bigger city makes it possible for a lot of people more to come than at the Nürburgring, and that's why I hope it will be crowded. I hope to see many new faces on site as well. I love it also to see all the familiar guys, but I think an exhibition like this should always attract new people, and I think that's more possible in Nürnberg than at the Nürburgring.
Well, if our teaser events were any indication, that's just what's going to be happening in Nuremberg, I believe. What do you think?
Yeah, I think also we have now a dedicated date, the Thursday, for B2B. I think that's also great because then the sim racing teams can talk to partners, exhibitors, and back and forth. And although many of the exhibitors felt like they want to have a day to talk to each other personally, because when all the visitors are coming, they are like, "What is your pedal? What is your steering wheel? Can I drive? What does it cost?" And I think it's really great to open up the exhibition for everybody, and also having the sim racing teams on the B2B day, so they can start to making business. Because I think in Germany we are quite lucky to have really established sim racing teams. When you look like Cowana, yourself, Der Esports, Cowana, Bila, and so on, we have really like Germany is one of the top countries in sim racing, and I think that's coming from the background we have. And we also got already signed some exhibitors from Australia and also from Japan. So the interest is growing worldwide, and I think that's a great opportunity for everybody to join. And also now this time around we changed the competition format. So basically it's not like you just enter one competition. So the teams, the professional teams have the chance with the ACC Professional Trophy and the ADAC Digital GT500 to get double prize money actually. And what we felt like was really important in the years before, the winner took nearly all. You know, we have I think 5,000 euros, 3,000, and 2,000 euros for the top 3 teams. But sim racing needs to be more, friendly to the people which also compete, right? So the split between the prize money is now bigger. You get prize money until place 20, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
So even for the teams which are not always on the top step and are used to throw champagne around and having trophies over their head, I think that's also a good opportunity to hold back the costs for the travel and so on. And I'm really looking forward to see you guys. Do you will race in ACC?
No.
So we can lean back, maybe, meet up in the Discord and having a good chat as a team manager about our drivers.
Yeah,
maybe we can get you onto the stream, or Chris, if you have time on Saturday.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. I'll watch anyways.
Of course. And
That's the
Yannick,
spirit.
when is the first race
First professional trophy race is scheduled for July 23rd, so basically around the corner. Get excited, it's going to be good.
So I think before we end the stream, do you have any big events coming up? Next SX Group event on the racing track, maybe? Or what is the esports doing in the next few weeks?
Well, like a lot of our guys have the Porsche qualifier, the Porsche Super Cup qualifier. There's like nothing really big going on. We have something in the background, which we can't announce yet. But yeah, we're working towards participating in a really big championship that is coming up end of the year. You can maybe guess what it will be, but like endurance. But yeah, that's what's going on for the team. We're trying to be there, like getting ourselves out there as well in like different sims. But right now it's like the guys are focusing on preparing for ACC for the professional trophy. Some of us, like me, are preparing for iRacing, being in the World Championship again. That's like what's going on at the moment for the DER esports team.
And Chris, for you and your big team?
Yeah, the problem is I cannot say too much. I can only say that we won a pitch some 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we won a new partner, a big one, but we are not allowed to talk about it at the moment. But it's again in esports, but something totally new. And if you follow us on our social media channels, you will see it.
What are your social media channels?
The SX Group channels. It's called SX Group.
Just SX Group on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yes, even on YouTube, but there is not that much ongoing at the moment, but we are even working on that. And we are preparing a lot of stuff. We are working on some concepts. We are working on new race formats. So everything is in the pipeline, but nothing to announce yet.
But is it possible for the viewers to meet you in Germany again on one of the DTM races?
Yeah, sure. We will be on site on every DTM race with our esports trailer, and Moritz is on site all the time, and I will be there 2 or 3 times, and our colleagues one of us is always there, and so we would be happy to meet, and if the guys want to come and join and do some race stuff on our trailer, they are warmly welcome. It's for free, and it's a lot of fun. Sometimes you met Moritz and you can try to beat him like I did on WRC.
Or getting an autograph or a picture with him, a selfie.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, if you want to step into the I forgot the word. Footsteps of Moritz Löhner. You have the chance at the DTM Esports trailer from the SX Group. And yeah, for us, for the ADAC SimRacing Expo, it's going to be busy. The next few weeks, we will announce all the teams which are taking part in the SimRacing GP Professional Trophy. The first race, the first actual race, we had some qualifier races already, will happen at the 23rd of July. So from now, only 3 weeks.
Exactly. And you don't want to miss this one. The guys at SimRacing GP really make a great job of the broadcasting. So it'll be a long race, but it'll be entertaining. So definitely tune into that.
So for the long race, we had a long stream, I guess. We thought it would be a bit shorter, but I think we are all quite happy to talk to each other because it's very rarely to see the last time everybody from face to face. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Moritz, to be here, being our guest. I think it was, for me personally, it was a great pleasure. I think for Yannick also.
Absolutely.
And Yannick, do you want to have the last words?
That's very kind, yeah. So, yeah, like Danny said, thank you guys for being here. Super exciting stream on my part as well. Definitely make sure to check out our Expo socials. We're on Twitter, on Instagram, of course on Facebook, on YouTube as well, to stay up to date with everything. Also check out simracingexpo.de to have all the latest info on the event. We'll keep you updated. For now, that's it for the first Road to SimRacing Expo 2022 stream. Thank you for watching. I hope you had as good a time as we did, and we'll see you next time.